have friends who are friends with some of the owners, and I checked it out after that. And then I just kept going there. I like to purchase a lot of books from them. Like, I have them order books for me, and it feels better because it feels like it's going towards the community and towards a good cause.
Being familiar with the South Wells area in general, I started to see advertisements for it as like an up-and-coming thing.
I saw an event that mentioned, just getting knowledge about the libraries, what you could do to help.
And I got both of these books, Forest of Noise and Things You May Find Hidden in My Ear. I got both of these at Radical Cat.
I have Uzumaki, which is good. I mean, I got it from Radical Cat. And then Start Here is a cookbook that I ordered from there, and it is so good.
I just started talking with Rosie and Ilya, sort of fell in love with the space.
Ilya's been a great person to recommend books to me, or to mention things that are new into the shop.
I just feel like, especially, I really focus on Rosie and Ilya because they're just such like kind, giving people who are very selfless and very smart.
Okay, yeah, my name is Ilya. We are at the Radical Cat, a small indie radical bookstore and cat adoption space in Reno.
My name is Rosie Zuckerman. I am a co-owner of the Radical Cat here in Reno, Nevada.
We've been open since March 2022, so about 2.5 years. It's ran by myself and really 3 other people, kind of 4 other people, Rosie, Melissa, and Mike, and then one wonderful employee, Lola.
We started as a pop-up cat lounge sort of thing that we were doing at the Holland Project, which is an all-ages space. My interest in doing that was to both make a space where there would be like a mutually beneficial space where like the cats could benefit from the socialization and people could benefit from hanging out with animals who couldn't have animals in, for whatever reason in their own life. And then, ultimately the hope being that the cats would get adopted. I had a coworker who was interested in opening a bookstore, and I asked her if she would want to do it as a cat space and bookstore, and that's how we opened the Radical Cat.
I mean, the other part of the story is we spoke to a bookstore through a random connection, our friend Cecily. There's a bookstore in Asheville called Firestorm, which has been around for a long time, I think now like 16 or 17 years. And we were just like, hey, we're in Reno, like we're thinking about opening a bookstore. Can we like pick your brain, as they say? And they were like so helpful.
I think for people who, like us, who I think identify pretty strongly as like anti-capitalist, but running a business where you're selling things for profit is a complicated relationship.
What I remember fondly, like just when we first opened, back then we used a different point of sale now, but I remember looking at the thing and it was like we had made $150, And I remember texting our friend Britt, who's the executive director of Holland. I just remember texting her and being like, $150, like, can you believe it? But that first day I just remember being proud. I mean, I was like, is anybody gonna come in here at all? Is anybody gonna buy anything? And back then the shelves were pretty sparse, There was probably like a quarter or a fifth of the stuff that we have now, if not less. I mean, there just wasn't a lot of stuff.
What do you think? The 2 cats we had for like the longest term, Pearl and Malibu, at different times from each other, but each were here I think for 3 months maybe, which is like the longest. And like the sweetest people came and adopted her, and they came in the other day and they were like, she's still scared of loud noises, but she cuddles with us all the time. And then they like adopted Malibu as a friend for her, who was also very shy, less shy than Pearl. But like now Malibu and Pearl are just like besties. That's a really nice thing to hear, because it's really nice to know when they go somewhere and they're like really, really loved and given a good home.
She was really looking at me this morning.
She was doing what?
She was like looking at me.
Yeah, she's curious. When we have cats, they just kind of hang out and roam freely. People are welcome to come in. do work, do homework, hang out with the cats, do whatever they want. They don't have to be interested in adopting to go hang out in there.
We did some research, and a lot of people were basically like, if you're gonna do like a cat / something else thing, like whatever the other thing is, you have to be like just as passionate about it as you are about the cats.
Bookstore closures, it's a huge bummer. Sundance, it's a bummer. It's a bummer that they closed. It's a bummer because we can't serve the population that, we can try and we can do special orders, but we're tiny and we're kind of like a niche, we're a bit more specialized.
Well, Sundance was kind of the hub and the headquarters when we would do the annual Nevada Humanities Literary Crawl. It was one of the main locations.
I think the harm comes from a lot of different places, varying degrees of things that people are able to control, but it sucks.
Oh, I don't even know. I don't even like thinking about that, because it was just really a blow to the literary community here when Sundance closed. And so now that Sundance is already gone, for Radical Cat to close would just be devastating for the people who are in English programs, for people like me that are trying to do poetry events. I don't think there's a better word for it than devastating, or heartbreaking perhaps, but it's just not the same.
Our rent has been, we haven't been kicked out, but our rent has been tripled, which means we can't get on a lease unless we pay triple our rent right now, which means we could get 30-day notice at any time here at the shop we're at right now.
The owner will sign a lease for us for triple our current rent, right? Which will go from $1,100 that we pay now to somewhere around $3,200. I kind of feel like we're not asking for that much, and that the people who sort of churn and exploit kind of businesses like ours, I think they're ultimately what makes me angry is the greed of it.
I think just this entire situation of instability is pretty stressful.
And what we pay in rent, whether it's $1,100 or $2,000 or whatever, it's not going to make a big difference to him.
We live in in a world that's so disconnected, and I feel like having this space is so important. Especially to me, selfishly, it just means a lot.
Yeah, let's dive more into that.
So yeah, our cat situation is kind of just in this weird holding pattern, and I can't really take any cats. The cat that the SPCA had for me is this super shy cat. And I was actually thinking of Pearl, who I mentioned, the shy cat, because I don't want to take in a cat that's going to need to be with us for 3-4 months. And then after a month we get kicked out of here and the cat has to go back to the SPCA or has to go to a new location.
For us, it's going to make a huge difference, if we can't stay here, that's it, and, Rosie and I will be fine, it's not going to, it's not going to put us out as far as we'll still have a place to live and stuff, but this is what we love to do. And it's become the central thing in our life, and it just feels really deeply unfair.
I think almost to make that feel like it's worthwhile, it's really important for us to have a lot of community events and stuff that's open to the public, stuff to strengthen Reno in ways that we can.
A lot of people wanted that connection, and I think Radical Cat really helped provide it.
Hey. How's it going? Good. How are you? Good. Let me know if you want this emphasis, right? Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I hold my breath, waiting for the good promise of Damocles.
The really awesome writing group, the Heretics Workshop. They meet here once a week. Right now they're doing Wednesdays, and they just sit in this room and write. And anyone's welcome to join them. You know, it's like a designated writing time in the afternoons.
So what makes his summarization technique so good?
It's still vivid.
Specificity of detail.
So we created the Heretics Workshop to basically have a space where people can come together and talk about craft. We center marginalized people, particularly multi-marginalized folks, as opposed to traditional workshop models that don't do that. We have a lot of discussion groups. We have write-ins where people come and they just spend time working on whatever project they're working on.
I mean, it's definitely plugged us into the greater community that is Reno, that's for certain. We do have a lot of regulars that come in, and, you know, having this space to meet that is inclusive, that's also, you know, sometimes very adorable when we have our little cat attendees. And we get to remember that Reno's a vibrant place.
I think because just of the nature of the space, we can kind of do smaller things, you know, and it's more sustainable. But also there is just that element of like myself and Rosie and the people we work with, you know, kind of take a more active role in kind of curating those things.
Last week we had 3 people. They trickled in at different times.
This is the home for the Heretics Workshop. We can't imagine a different space.
No.
Yeah, that's kind of it. It's a very small space, so we've like shoved a lot in.
We can't really grow in here. So we're kind of hoping that this issue might be a bit of a blessing in disguise.
That seems fine, right? Or you're saying we should have...
I don't care. I'm just saying before we write.
We got John's man.
Yeah, I used to do graffiti a lot growing up.
Oh, I love it. I love the new space. I love it. I love it all. No, I think it feels like a store. You have aisles, little carpet rugs. It really invites you to browse, and the way they set it up, it's big, it's inviting. It doesn't necessarily feel like an office building with just some cats and books, you know?
All right, welcome to the Radical Cat. This is the first event in the new location. The inaugural poetry event, the inaugural event of any kind.
Numbness is resilience. Means you're ready for the long road ahead. You're movable, you're steadfast, numb, but present.
I don't know, I'm not like a big hopes person, you know. Usually I'm just like, if I like the thing that I'm doing, you know, then I just hope that I can keep doing it, you know, and hopefully get better at it.
I mean, I think we did it. Like, we're here. I think like whatever our goal was, which I don't know that there was a goal other than to open the store, we did it because we opened the store. Like, the follow through remains to be seen. Like, we'll see if like, I feel like right now I can say we achieved what we were trying to do.
As long as we're it together. Yeah, this right here forever. Won't let you down, I'll never. Won't let you down. I think I found my treasure. Oh yeah. Always get the feeling that you feel the same way. No, you're never gonna leave my side.